And welcome back to St. Lucia this morning with me, Jenna and Gastor. Joining me at my round table here this morning is the author of B is for Bully. Her name is Jacqueline Brathett, and she's from the very south of this island. And I'm so happy that she traveled all the way to have this conversation with me here this morning. And I was giving her little jokes about what time she had to wake up to get all the way up here. But it's not about your commute this morning, it's about her book, B is for Bully. Jacqueline, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me, Jenna.
Thank you so much for coming. Tell us, B is for Bully. What is that about?
Well, really, the book is about bringing awareness to bullying. It's indicating who can be bullied, why bullies bully, and what you can do about it, So it really just is an educational tool to help children free and up, and also parents and educators to bring more awareness to bullying.
All right. And what was the inspiration behind this book, really?
I have been bullied in the past, but that was, locked in memory for a long time until I was listening to a news piece about a dad whose son had killed himself, committed suicide, unfortunately, because he had been bullied. He'd gone out with this young lady and young girl from school, and she made fun of him, indicating that he must be gay. And it was just the taunting, that kept going on from school. And just one day he hung himself in his room, and for some reason that day, and watching this father cry about this, and it just got to me like, why could children be so mean to each other? And children are some of the sweetest people in the world, and for that innocence to be turned into something so mean as bullying. And I just felt helpless, like, what can I do about it? And then the words just came out for this book on scrap of paper, and of course I started remembering my own experience with being bullied. So that's how I was inspired to get this book going.
I can imagine that it must have been a tough time for you.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I don't know if I was bullied. I think maybe I was a bully. Not intentionally though, not intentionally. But I definitely have a daughter, and I won't want her to be bullied in school at all.
Well, and again, when you say you think you was a bully, and really bullying is an aggressive, intentional, repeated acts that someone, they say school-age children,
Right.
but really I think anyone does against someone where they feel there is an imbalance of power, and it's repetitive. So, you very well, I'm sure, was not in that area. Maybe
It was not my intention. It was not my intention to escape.
Yes.
I really didn't mean to, and anybody who I went to school with that I was mean to, I am sorry. Let me just say it right
Me
here.
too.
So B's for bullying, and I'm going through your book, and I love this page right here. It says bully variety. You have the regular bully, the girl bully, the hip hop bully, the muscle bully, cyber bully, martial arts bully, the adult bully. Now, who would we consider adult bullies?
Oh, you might be surprised. There are actual parents. Your parents could be bully aunts, uncles that you live with. So anyone in your community or close to you, even a sibling, could be a bully, and an older sibling. So usually bullies are bullied in the past, either by a peer or even an adult in their own household.
Right.
So it's the unwanted, aggressive, repetitive, act, behavior against someone, and it's unwanted. It hurts.
And this book, who is it for? Who are our readers?
Well, the book is geared for children, I would say 3 and up. Even though they can't read at that time, parents can read. And of course, the pictures, Gable Utumo, who's the illustrator, he did some wonderful illustrations here. And so children already, they love pictures and at this age. And so they can actually see the actions, and that's why I wanted it to start at an early age to bring awareness to this issue, because as you go through kindergarten, preschool, and primary school so forth, you experience some of these behaviors. Like I did, for instance, in primary school. I went to Plainview, and I had a book, and this young child felt that I had to lend her my book, which I didn't want to because my mom, you go to school with a book, you have to bring it back clean and nice so your siblings can use it for the next term. But anyways, she took it upon herself to stab me in the arm with her pencils, so I had like all these indentations, on my arm. And when I got home, I didn't tell my mother, of course, but she saw it, and that was a no-no for her. So she waited the next morning for the bus with me in hand, and gave her a little talking to,
Wow.
a good warning, and to let her parents know, to come and talk to her if they needed to. And the incident never occurred. We never heard from her parents, and it stayed with me for a little while. The shame of it.
Of course.
And again, being the eldest, you think you have to protect your siblings, and here you are being, taken advantage of like that. So, but after a while, I think she was maybe 12 or 13. This young girl, I learned that she died. She had a heart problem, and then I started feeling bad about, having all
What a
these
vicious cycle.
thoughts and anger about it. So yeah, so I've let it go.
That seems like it's still very much a traumatic experience, to be honest with you. I mean, I know I kind of just like, ooh, what a vicious cycle. But I mean, she stabbed you with a pencil multiple times,
Yes, on the arm.
and you still remember that. You can
Oh,
see you touching your
vividly.
arm,
Yes, yes.
still remembering that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, you hear the stories, you see it on television. You say maybe this is only for kids in America, or on the internet or whatever. You don't ever think that it's happening right here in our sweet island we call Saint Lucia, because we're born Caribbean people. But to have you sit here next to me and actually tell me that story, I'm sure if we have to play back this record, you'd see my face be like, she stabbed you with a pencil in school.
Yes, yes.
And you were how old?
I believe I was about 6 at the time.
6 years old.
Yes, because I remember starting Plainview. It was around that time, right around Hurricane Allen, because I think we were in either those tents at that time. After the hurricane, they put up tents because the school had been damaged. And that's so I remember I was around that age.
And here we have it. B for bully. B is for bully, because she has lived it, and now she can write about it, and she didn't choose to write about it in any extravagant way. You used a kid-friendly book, which I think is absolutely genius, because the earlier we learn about it and the earlier we teach our children about it, maybe we can make a difference and stop. Now, you mentioned to me the illustrator, because your pictures are very lovely. Who worked with you on this book?
Well, I went through a publisher, Mascot Books in Vernon, Virginia, and they assigned me an illustrator. And they offer customized, not just standard packages. They actually cater to your specific needs. And so my illustrator, Gable Utomo, I sent in the script, and he just worked these fantastic illustrations by the scripts that I wrote, and then it was just like magic, and here we go. I loved it from the very beginning. It was just a bit of fine tuning, second iteration, but and that was it. So I didn't have to go for several iterations. Just couple make some changes here, and that's it.
And is this your first book?
It is. It is. I'm trying to be a writer.
You're trying to be, sweetie. You
Aspiring.
you have a published book right here. I think
Aspiring.
I think that writer part is long out. Trying to be. You are a writer, and you have a great book in front of you.
Well, I really hope so. In terms of helping the children out there, I've gone to a few schools in the U.S. Some elementary schools as well, and the children, they just love the book, and they want to tell their story, and all of them were just like raising. I've been bullied, and then they'd want to tell all of them, their stories. So it was really interesting, to the reception, and I love children. So I don't have any, but I call myself a mother of children because I have so many family members of children, and so it was really, really touching to see the acceptance and the reception from them.
And where can we get this book here in St. Lucia?
Well, it's online. It's not at the stores yet. We're still working on that, and the schools, we're still working on trying to get it into the various primary schools here. So right now it's available on Amazon.com, Barnes & Nobles, and of course the publisher's website, Mascot Books, MASCOT Books.com.
Right.
And just various, and also some of the libraries, online libraries.
Okay,
as
and
well.
how much is your book?
It's available for $14.95 US, and for the schools and for wholesale purchase, it's can be bought at bulk 12 or more for $6.95.
$6.95.
Yes.
Okay, there you have it, St. Lucia. All principals getting dressed this morning to go to school. All parents getting dressed to go to school. This is a good buy. You really need to contact Jacqueline here. We're going to give you some information. You can check out DBS Facebook page for more information on her. You can call the studio if you want to get in touch with her, if you want to know how to get your hands on this book. It is a gem. It is the way forward, St. Lucia. It is for our kids, and so we really need to not only just support our own kind, but support something with a positive message. Jacqueline, I want to thank you so much for coming here with me this morning. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I know we can go on and on and on and on and on because this is such a sensitive topic.
Yes, it is.
Particularly because we have so many suicides, on the island right now, and you have to wonder what is causing. But I'm really happy that someone has taken the step and started at a young age, and I want to applaud you and congratulate you on your first book.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you so much for having me, Jenna.
It was really a pleasure.
I hope it can make a difference for someone.
I'm sure it is, and I'll be grabbing a copy for my little girl to explain to B is for bullies. Stay tuned, St. Lucia, because there's more this morning when we come back.